Hello and welcome to More Sweet Than Bitter Yoga. I'm Adrienne. Thank you for joining me today. Changing things up a bit, not every day is a vinyasa practice. The thing about living in Egypt, you never know how you're going to feel when you wake up in the morning. There's a lot of pollution here and the air affects me. Whether it's having a headache, feeling dehydrated, stomach's just a bit off. So today I thought I would just give myself a little bit of just what it needs. And the thing about this practice is that you can use it for a multitude of reasons and purposes. Maybe you're a little hungover, not feeling so great, or maybe you are having some cramping in your stomach, whether it's from period or other health issues of the day. We're not going to be getting into really deep twists or forward fold, some of the things that we might do in another practice. So we're just going to be taking it really easy today. Before we get started, don't forget to grab things that you might want to incorporate into your practice. So whether it's a blanket for a little bit more support in a seated position, your blocks, bolster, and of course water if you are dehydrated, and you need that throughout your practice today. So, sitting on our mat, let's get started. Start with some cleansing breaths in and out your nose. You can be nice, easy seat, lotus, whatever works for you. And hands on your knees. You're welcome to bring your awareness inward by closing your eyes and taking your nice full breaths. Sitting nice and tall. Maybe just readjust your body if you realize maybe you're slouching a bit, leaning forward, leaning too far back. Try to find your center. Maybe tilt your chin down just slightly. And connect with your breath. Go ahead and open your eyes. And let's come to windshield wipers. So feet are on the mat, knees are bent. And bring your hands behind your hips. Fingers pointed towards the back of your mat. And just moving your knees, your legs from side to side, feeling nice little stretch in your low back. Slight movement here just to get things warmed up a bit before we begin. And don't forget to breathe. Bring your knees back to center. Go ahead, sit yourself up. And bring the bottoms of your feet together. Bringing the heels of your feet as close to your bum as you can. And this is a great place where if you want a little bit of support with a block to rest your knees on, blanket, fold under your knees. So we're going to be sitting in butterfly for a little bit. So just sitting nice and tall. We're not going to be working in a forward fold here. We're just feeling nice stretch in our legs. We're sitting tall. And if you'd like to incorporate side bend, not intense side bend stretch, just wanting to feel that stretch along our left arm. Reaching to the right, looking up if you like. If you notice, my knees are not on the mat. They do not have to be. But again, if you want some support under those knees, go ahead, grab what you like. I have a tendency to close my eyes in a lot of postures. To bring the awareness inward. Connect with the breath. And feel that stretch. On your next breath, maybe see if you can move a little bit further into the edge. Again, we're not going to be doing an intense side bend here. Maybe just reaching your arm a little bit. Really just want to be feeling this in your legs, your thighs, your groin, and your left arm that is reaching. Go ahead, inhale yourself back to center. Just taking a moment. And a breath. Let's go ahead. Inhale. Raise your right arm up to the sky. Looking at the fingertips, your elbow, wherever your gaze lands. Again, reaching your right arm, your fingers as far as you can. And you're reaching a little bit further on your next edge. Keep breathing. Just nice full breaths. And on your next inhale, go ahead, bring yourself back to center, both hands on the floor. Bringing your feet back on the mat, knees bent. So that was a really intense stretch for your thighs and your groin. Let's go ahead, move back into windshield wipers. So hands are behind your hips, your bum, fingers pointed towards the back of your mat. Just go ahead, moving your knees, your legs from one side of the mat to the other. Go ahead, bring your knees back to center. And let's move into a half spinal twist. So again, not going into a full twist here, but let's extend our legs nice and long. Bringing your right knee in first, so bending that knee. Inhale your right hand up to the sky, and exhale, bringing your right hand behind your bum, as close to your bum as you can get it. Fingers pointing to the back of the mat. And just exhale, holding on to your right knee with your left hand, just looking towards the long edge of your mat. Not turning all the way to the back edge, not looking at that short back edge of your mat. This is just a half twist. Sitting nice and tall, rooted and grounded. Opening up your shoulders. you want to wrap your arm around, maybe finding that next edge. Keeping that left foot flexed, that left leg engaged. So your right shoulder's open. Your left shoulder is getting a stretch from a little bit deeper hold of your right knee. Sitting nice and tall. Shouldn't be feeling any intense pressure on your stomach, your abs. A few more breaths here. And on your next exhale, go ahead, release all of that air out. Release your left arm from your right knee. Extend your right knee down your mat. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Okay, so let's bend our left knee, bringing our left foot as close to our bum as we can. Inhale your left arm up, bringing your left hand behind your bum on the mat, fingers pointed to the back short edge of your mat. And again, sitting nice and tall. Inhale and exhale, looking to the long edge of your mat. You're not turning to that back short edge. It's just a half twist here. Keep that right foot flexed. Sitting nice and tall through the crown of your head. Beginning a little bit deeper stretch in your right shoulder, getting your knee in the crook of your elbow here, opening up your left shoulder, feeling that stretch through your right leg, just feeling these full breaths are really cleansing your body. Let's take a few more breaths here. And that next exhale, go ahead and release all of that air out. Releasing your arm from your knee and extending your left leg long down the mat. Beautiful. Let's come into cat-cow. So swinging our legs around us, coming up into a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Go ahead, inhale, looking up to the sky. Arching your back. Oh, it feels good, doesn't it? And exhale, rounding the spine, bringing your chin towards your chest. Couple more times. Inhale. Look up. Arch your back. And exhale, around the spine. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. All right, coming back to a seat on our mat. Go ahead, extend your feet out as far as you can. So just seated, wide leg position. So what we're gonna do here is just really engage the legs. So we're not gonna do any deep forward folds or anything here, but toning your legs. So toning your thighs, your calves, flexing your feet, and really feeling the engagement in your legs. Just breathe. Resting your hands anywhere it feels comfortable for you, whether they're on your legs or maybe center. Nice long spine. Maybe if you'd like, sitting here, opening up your shoulders a bit, if that works for you, maybe bringing your hands behind you. This is your practice. You do what feels good for you. Your body will give you all sorts of indications of what it needs, so just go ahead and give it to it. If you'd like to, maybe getting shoulder blade stretch. Not going into a deep forward fold here, but maybe just walking your fingers forward, center, and feeling that stretch along your shoulders, maybe down your neck. Again, nice long spine here. We're not rounding, not putting any pressure on our tummy or abs. Legs still engaged here. Let's take a few more breaths here. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release everything out. Inhale, bring yourself up to the seated position. Beautiful. Let's go ahead, bring our legs back to center. We're gonna move into a supported bridge. So I know bridge is not typically part of a yin practice, but I thought this would be nice just to incorporate a little bit of something different today. So finding yourself centered, bum center in your mat, go ahead. Bring your feet flat on the floor, knees are bent, and lower yourself down on your mat. bringing, inhaling your hips up off the mat. Go ahead, slide your block, maybe bolster, whatever works for you in your practice. Arms are at your side. Go ahead, open up your shoulders, open up your collarbone. Breathe. Pushing your feet, your heels into the earth. This is still an active bridge, but it's supported. Pushing your knees a little bit closer, not touching your knees, but imagine like you are in bridge. Engaging your legs, your glutes. So the nice thing about this is that we wouldn't normally stay in bridge for a very long time, right? We take a break. We like 5 breaths and lower our hips. So in this supported pose, we can stay here longer. But still keeping our shoulders open, pressing and engaging our feet, our legs. Still getting the benefits of all of bridge. Begin to push your hands, your arms into the earth. A little bit more support here. A few more breaths. I know we've been holding this for a bit. You're doing great. And your next exhale, release everything out. Go ahead. Move the block to the side. Lower your hips to the mat. You can do reclining wipers, so just stay on your back and move your knees, your legs from side to side. Bring your knees back to center. Extending your legs long down the mat. And go ahead, supporting yourself on your forearms. Bring yourself up to a seated position. Bring your bum back to center on your mat. And before we move into our final resting pose, let's just take a little time in caterpillar. So again, we're not going to do a really deep forward fold here. This is just going to be feet flexed. So go ahead, inhale your hands up to the sky and exhale. Nice long spine, sitting nice and tall. Feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. Letting your hands fall wherever they land. So whether it's on your toes, feet, ankles, shins, whatever feels good for you. Even resting your forearms on your shins, you can still feel that stretch. What I like to do, I'm spending a little bit more time in a forward fold. It's just moving fleshy bits of your bum to the side and to feel really rooted and connected to the earth. So sitting with a nice long spine. This isn't so much about a stretch in your back, it's still really about an active stretch in your legs. and you're welcome to close your eyes and bring your awareness inward. Breathing into any space into your body that you'd like to direct. This is also a great way to incorporate your bolster or your blocks. Maybe you want a little bit of a rest for your arms. Maybe to lean your chest onto something. Just a few more breaths here. After you've been sitting in this position for a little bit longer time, you may even start feeling that stretch in your low back, which could be really, really nice depending on how your body feels today. On your next inhale, go ahead, release everything out. And on your next inhale, go ahead, bring yourself up, seated. And let's move into Shavasana. So for Shavasana and Yin, I really like to use a bolster and have a little bit more support. I think it's just incredibly comfortable and just a really lovely way to end a Yin practice. Also, if you'd like to have a little bit of warmth, if your room is a little bit cold, you're welcome to grab a blanket and cover up with that. I think I might, because it's actually a little chilly in here today, for once, surprisingly. Probably because I'm not doing a vinyasa practice. So go ahead, bring whatever support you would like underneath you, and go ahead and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae onto your mat, your bolster, blanket, whatever you have. Go ahead, cover yourself up. Arms are wherever you'd like them to be, at your side, on your belly. Let your feet flap open. And just sink into your mat, into the earth. just slowly come back into this moment, wiggling your toes and your fingers. Take a nice full breath in and out your nose. When you are ready, go ahead and bring yourself up to a seated position. Moving your blanket, moving your bolster, finding an easy seat on your mat. Just nice full breaths. You still close or softly focus, whatever you feel. Let's go ahead and close our practice today. Bring your hands together in prayer, thumbs against our chest, and our nose tilted down, bowing our head into our fingertips. Taking a moment to honor our body, giving it what it needs. Honor our practice. Honoring yourself for listening to your body. Just giving it some love. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel even better than when you started this. Until next time, I send you light and love.